Quick look at Brock's counterparts making $985,000 this year. Several gentlemen there. And Brock Purdy was in the Super Bowl. How much pressure is on Brock this year?
Well, way more if and when Brandon Ayuk gets traded, which I'm starting to think is more when than if. Lot of like kind of vaguely worded reports coming out of the Niners world. Matt, I don't want to mispronounce his name, but Mayako, I apologize, Matt, you're getting your last name wrong, seems to think this is close to being done. And then we heard Schefter say today, hey, basically that Ayuk can nix these trades, and implied that the Niners have come to terms on a trade for Ayuk that then didn't happen because Ayuk couldn't come to terms with those teams about an extension. And so once you're to that point, makes me think.
Question? He can nix the trades?
Well, so it's like this. A team.
We don't want it unless he's going to sign.
Exactly.
He'd be in the same situation.
Yeah, exactly right.
But he doesn't have like a no
What
trade.
The Jets should have done with the Hassan Reddick trade, it's like, hey, we're not going to trade for you unless you agree to an extension, is what it would be. And so Ayuk essentially in this spot kind of has a no trade clause, where it is, if he doesn't agree to an extension, no team's going to give real compensation for a player. So I think that adds to the pressure on Purdy, because Ayuk was his deep threat last year. Ayuk was the reason that it wasn't dinking and dunking the way it was his rookie year. The primary guy that he went to deep down the field was Brandon Ayuk, and they had a great connection. The other reason I think there's a lot of pressure on him, Brew, is because deep down, I think even Brock Purdy's biggest defenders, like you, kind of agree with me. Because nobody is willing out here to say, why isn't Brock Purdy in that NFL top 10? Nobody is willing. No, but like Brew, right now, this moment, I think you have more faith in C.J. Stroud than Brock Purdy. And that's because of the same reasons that I have questions. Because we've seen Jimmy G do it, because we know he has all the Avengers, because we know Kyle Shanahan, and because of the draft spot. So even his biggest defenders have questions, which makes me wonder if Brock Purdy himself has a few questions. So I think there's massive pressure.
Okay, I don't have the questions like you're saying. First of all, can we see a picture? Can we get that?
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I'm shocked you don't like him, because dude is jacked.
Yeah, he's jacked.
That's what a football player looks
Can I
like.
ask a quick, does he look bigger than last year?
He does, to me, look at it.
Look at the arm.
He looks bigger than last year? Wait, so
Jaden, if he can do it, Jaden Daniels can do it.
He put on weight.
He looks.
I thought that was an impossibility.
I didn't say it was impossible.
Oh my God!
Nick, you gotta like that.
That
look.
is
so
you gotta
weird.
like that look.
Go ahead.
Look, I don't think if they lose Ayuk, and this could work in the Niners' favor in that if Ayuk's, if as you explained it, if Ayuk's like nobody's willing to give me this extension, then maybe it's like, okay, I gotta go ball. I'm with I'm comfortable here. Let's get it done. I don't think, even if they lose Ayuk, though, Nick, that changes the pressure. He's under pressure with or without Ayuk, because it's Super Bowl or bust. We all agree on that. And even if they don't win the Super Bowl, even if they do, there could be changes next year, right? He could lose a Debo. Maybe he likely will lose Ayuk. And so that doesn't change. And then, of course, if you don't win the Super Bowl after knocking on the door for the better part of 5 years, could it break a team's spirit? Do you have to make just some changes to get some new life in there? So I think the pressure doesn't change in that regard. And then, of course, the money. The money, and I do think Brock Purdy is grounded enough. I really believe this, where of course he wants that huge contract. But I don't think he is just, that's front of mind for him. I think he's grounded enough to be like, look, as Coach always says, the way to get to the big contract is to play great every game, like one game at a time, just like that's the way to win the Super Bowl. So I think he's grounded enough, but that it is there. If he has a bad year, he might not get the huge bag.
He's overachieved like crazy. He's achieved beyond anybody's expectations. And as long as he performs at the same level, the pressure's not on him. The pressure's on the organization to figure out whether or not he's the reason why they're performing at that level, or whether they just assume it's coaching and all the other players around him. That's where the pressure is. What I hope he doesn't do is go and try to do things that are outside of who he is to try to. His numbers are staggering for where he's been. So if he goes and tries to do something beyond that, and then it turns into a situation that's a lot worse than he's had, that's the biggest mistake that he can make.
Okay, Coach, you notoriously hate commercials. You're no fan of photo shoots as well. Are you okay?
When did I hate photo shoots?
I think if guys do magazine spreads, you're no fan of that.
It depends on what kind of magazine.
Yeah, not just like here's a photo of me catching a football. It's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I dressed up. I'm on the cover of this magazine. It feels
They
like
gave me new clothes.
No, I don't mind this at all. He's living in San Francisco, so just state tax alone, cost of living there, paying his agent. What he makes, I think he said like. The number could be wrong, but maybe 0.25% of the San Francisco 49ers salary cap, or maybe it's 0.5% of the 49ers salary cap this year. So it's this little minuscule amount, and we're talking in terms of pro athlete salaries. He's made $2 million during the course of his career, and he's doing a total of he's endorsed three products, I think. 3 total products versus someone who's made $136 million in his career and endorses 19 products. So that's where my frustration is.
Well, can I ask you a question?
When you've got like a pile of money like Scrooge McDuck, and then you're going to go do 100 million other
do you think the person you're subtweeting there is Patrick Mahomes?
I'm not subtweeting.
Well, who's the person with 19 commercials? That's made $136 million. Who is it you were talking about?
I think it might be Patrick.
Okay, so it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So I just have 2 quick questions. One is, do you think that if Mahomes had done fewer commercials, the Chiefs would win more?
Well, maybe they would have won more during the regular season.
Okay, so no. The answer to that's no. And the other question is, do you think if Brock Purdy were off, do you think he's doing 3 commercials, but he's been offered 17? Or do you think he's doing 100% of the commercials he's
3 is not enough.
I don't know if he's doing the 100%.
I would bet not 100%.
I bet 100% of the brands that are.
He's got to do more commercials.
He's not doing like the local window.
Okay, I understand that. By the way, I have no problem with this. I think he should make all. I think he should make all the money that he can make.
Caleb made more money at USC. Like
Caleb was better.
Okay.
I mean, Caleb's carrying it. Caleb on the team with the Avengers.
Caleb wasn't the 7th-ranked quarterback in the NFL.
Put Caleb on
Tua
a team
being
with those
disrespected next.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.